Hello. What if we compared ourselves to a plant? Let's say you equals plant. Today I'm going to give you an analogy, and you might soon realize that we and plants are more alike than you think. At the same time, of course, there are differences, and I'll be getting to that toward the end of this video. But in the meantime, let's look at how we are alike. If we look at these aspects that I'm about to share with you, you will soon be empowered by some of these alikeness and some of the powers you probably forgotten or didn't know that you had. Let's look at plants. And by the way, this whole thing I was typing out in my notes, which I then put on a Google Doc when I was just chilling out last night, reading through Bob Proctor's You Were Born Rich book. By the way, Bob Proctor's lectures, they are actually inside of my Inspire at Random school community. So if you haven't already joined yet and you're interested in manifestation, click the link in the video description and join my community. Right now it is free. See you inside. Coming back to this, because these are some ideas. Like I said, I was reading through chapter 6 and the beginning of chapter 7, so I had these great ideas which I want to share with you. Let's think about plants start out as what? A seed. Under the right conditions, moisture, the right temperature as well, these seeds can then germinate and the roots start forming. Once they start drawing in water and nutrients through the roots, they start to develop into a sapling. From a sapling, then becomes as a small plant. Plants have a different DNA. Although the seeds may be of the same size, but there are also seeds of many different sizes. These plants, some may grow up to only a foot tall, some may grow up to a meter, 2 meters, and some will go into trees. All this is pre-registered in the DNA. When these seeds are presented, there are only two possible outcomes. One, they dry out, nothing happens, and it probably never ever develops ever again. Or it grows into the plant it is supposed to become. The point I'm trying to make here is that nature only has one path, and that path is success. So with the right conditions, as soon as a plant has started growing, it will inevitably grow. Now I would like to compare it to yourself for a moment. If nature has only one path, and that is success, and if we just walk our path, we will succeed. Isn't that a good thought to have? If that sounds too easy, maybe I'm oversimplifying right now, but I'll get into the details very soon. I remember when I was in grade school. In fact, my kids did the same experiment too, even though they went to school many years after I did. This was to grow sprouts for science class. We were told to grow sprouts, the same amount of them, in a dark room, like a storeroom, and also out in the light. What we inevitably observed, because these are the facts of life, just as success or failure can be like facts as well. These sprouts that grew in brightness were thicker in the stem. If I give a personification, it's like stocky. They were greenish, they would look healthy. On the other hand, those other sprouts that grew up in the dark room, they were skinny, they were longer. The color was in fact kind of pale and unhealthy. The reason why I like to use these personifications is kind of like human nature. Not to say that if you want to grow tall, lock yourself up in a dark room. The sprouts that were growing in the dark room were desperately growing, trying to rush their growth in search for the hope of finding light. When we did that science experiment, we had a separate task to do afterward. We were to take half of those sprouts grown in the dark room. Half of them were to remain in the dark room, another half to be brought out into the light. After a few days, sprouts that were brought out into the open had more vibrant color. Greenness was restored. Momentarily, they were not growing up that much. However, the stems were getting fatter. On the other hand, the ones in the dark room eventually wilted and died. As long as you provide the right conditions, there is a blueprint, and that blueprint leads towards realize the potential of the life given. Even more so than plants, we, an intelligent species, our conditions are just so important. We should never overlook our conditions. Are you eating well? Are you resting enough? Are you exercising? Are you using your respiratory cardiovascular system in a way that allows your body to constantly regenerate the cells as it's supposed to do? Or are you overworking yourself, micromanaging your job tasks, giving yourself little or no freedom, putting in more effort than is required? There's a difference between putting in your best and putting in your best and then more, and I'll get to that in a moment as well. Or some of you out there, maybe you've been living like a degenerate, partying till 7 a.m. or waking up at 5 p.m. and repeating the cycle again and again. Maybe some of you out there once were in a drug addiction or alcoholism. You are not providing your body the nutrients that it needs. When I experienced shingles for a period of 3 months, that was a signal to me that, hey, it's actually quite good and I feel so great to sleep early at 11 p.m., wake up at 6 or 7 a.m., have a healthy diet, cut alcohol. I have anti-aged tremendously in the span of the last few months. I'm actually 40 this year, but many people would still think I'm below 30. When you read about some of the musicians, like recently Liam Payne of One Direction, apparently he was going through a lot of life issues. Could be related to the ex-girlfriend who wrote a book. But then again, a lot of the celebrities who commit suicide in the ages of between 30 and 40, they've just got to such a high level in their life. They just don't really know what to put their focus on. They've done whatever that there is to do. They don't know what other potential they have, perhaps. They don't know what is there else to look forward to. If the sprout were a person, it's kind of like the sprout searching for living conditions and meaning in the dark. At a certain point, it can meander, it can overdrive its growth, but without finding the light, eventually it will perish. I know that sounds a little bit depressing. Let's get back into discussing plants. Plants have various roles. Of course, their main goal is to exist and to become the final form that is registered in their blueprint. But they also have many associated roles, not just in nature, but in the world. Plants, as they gain height and they gain the spread of their leaves, they also provide shelter for humans, for animals, and they provide a habitat for various living things. For example, the branches become a place where birds can build their nests, and it becomes a habitat for squirrels as well that roam among the trees, monkeys, and so much more. Plants also have a role of cleaning the air in a process called photosynthesis. In the day when there is sunlight, while they are drawing nutrients through the roots, they are able to exchange the carbon dioxide gases and produce fresh oxygen, energizing the environment around. One point about photosynthesis, this can only happen in the daytime. You can't force it to happen at night. This is what I was trying to express earlier when I said that some people, they're just putting in their everything and then more. What I've learned in manifestation and what many manifestation coaches will teach, even Bob Proctor, who I mentioned, whose book inspired me to write down these points. Bob Proctor said, after you've done all that you need to do, you've done all the inspired actions, let go and let God. Let go and let God. There is no need to over-involve yourself in a task after you have already done what you needed to do to your best ability. The rest of it maybe is someone else's duty, maybe is the universe's duty, maybe supposed to let nature take its course. There are certain things that cannot be forced, and there's nothing that's going to be achieved if you over-invest your time, your awakeness towards this. Instead, you should be sowing for the next thing. After you have already done your effort in sowing for something, sow for the next thing, for the next thing, for the next thing. I was actually giving a coworker an analogy in the business projects that we do. Just treat it like planting trees. Some trees will grow very well. Some trees may grow partially. Some trees will grow averagely. Some trees may not grow. Some trees, they will grow, they will cross-pollinate with other trees through the fruits that is being bared. They are able to spread their existence in the area and more trees emerge. The point of me giving this analogy to my coworker was that there's only so much that we can do on this task. Let's focus on the next one. As long as we keep doing our best, doing more deals, doing more processes, eventually we will have a large harvest to collect. You may have also heard of a phrase, some will, some won't, so what? Another truth that is in plants that applies fully to us is that if we are not growing, then we are dying. Like I mentioned earlier, a seed, either it has the right conditions and it starts to grow, or maybe that seed, it dries up, maybe even decays beyond a point that it can never grow again. So we're either moving ahead or we're dying. And a plant, like I talked about the sprouts, we have the one in the open, the one in the dark room. Either we're growing or we're dying. Or we tried to grow, couldn't grow, and died. Let me give you another analogy. Imagine if you are a tree and all your leaves are dollar bills. The path that is set for you is to have many more leaves. But on the way to having many more leaves, you go through various cycles. Of course, there's the day-night cycle in the seasons as well. In autumn, the leaves turn color. They begin to fall off. By winter, they have shed the leaves. In spring, leaves emerge again. Maybe the tree has gained some height as well. What I mean to say here are a few things. Growth is not easy, but it is not difficult. It is inevitable, but it's not easy. When you think about the winter months, the way a tree keeps itself alive is to reduce surface area, not just in the winter, but even for a dry season as well. When the leaves fall off, it actually is able to conserve the water loss as well. Simultaneously, the roots grow deeper into the ground to dip into water in further layers of the ground. So growth is not easy, but it is not difficult. It is inevitable. Yet imagine if the tree were to decide, I'm going to hold on to all my leaves. I'm going to hold on to all these currency, right? What's going to happen? It's got too much surface area. It's going to lose water too fast. Moreover, if the cycle is to shed and renew without renew, how will it be its ability to perform the daily functions when spring comes again? It did not renew itself. Whatever is not growing is certainly dying. It's kind of like our body needs the rest to regenerate ourselves. As long as we're having the rest and we put ourselves in a good vibration, our cells are vibrating at a right frequency, it's able to repair itself to a very great extent. That is why mankind is actually the superior species in this world. Its abilities to recover are amazing. I gave this analogy of the tree and the leaves to also express the importance of detachment and abandonment. Trees do this so easily because they don't have a plant brain. For us, if someone says, throw away all your money, you have more next season, would you do that? If I told you, empty out your bank account, you're going to have more next season. If you had blind faith, yes. But most people with a common sense, they'll be like, you gotta be shitting me. I'm going to start talking about the differences between ourselves and plants as well. The main difference between ourselves and plants, as I mentioned in many videos, God became man so that man can become God. Man, us, in God's likeness, we are co-creator. That's the difference between us and animals and plants. We have the ability to change our destiny. We have the ability to change our programming. In my most recent video, when I talked about I gained 1 inch of height at the age of 40, it's actually proof we can even change certain things that many people think cannot be changed. As a co-creator, let's think about the plant, the trees, the leaves again. Let's say you are a tree, and what are your leaves? Are your leaves $5 bills, $50 bills, $100 bills, or $1,000 bills? What leaves do you carry on your branches? Or are you even growing money on your branches at all? Or are you growing notes and notes of debt, problems, frustrations, angers, grievances, of grudges? You need to choose your energy. What will you develop into? If, like a plant, you will inevitably fulfill your blueprint, what is your current blueprint? Is your current blueprint one of $1,000 bill leaves, $50 leaves, $5 leaves, or problems upon problems? You choose your reality. In my recent video about the world's assimilation, I talked about how you can instantly shift your reality. So what is your reality? What kind of frequency are you sending out to the rest of the world? Be aware today, right now, you are a co-creator. Comment down below, I am a co-creator of my life, so that I know that you know. I don't watch Netflix these days, but when I last did watch Netflix, it was programs that were of benefit, programs that made me think wider. One of my favorites was Inside Bill's Brain. And there were, of course, the ones of Madoff, and there was a series called Dirty Money. All of these let me know how much money, how much opportunity existed out there in the world. Inside Bill's Brain, this taught me that my dreams are way too small. And many of us in our life would never even come close to a tenth of the philanthropical work that he does. Did you know that he's puts up millions for pitching competitions for innovators to come in with their own solutions to solve world problems that he's identified, that he's decided that he wants to fix? When I watch those Netflix documentaries about money, like the dirty money, the Madoff case, and I found out some of us, we're just thinking of how to get X hundred of dollars, $2,000 or $3,000 a month of income. And coming from a country, Singapore, I learned about how much money actually exists in the backyard and what activities generate such money. Recently, when I was on the plane back from Singapore, I watched a documentary about Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. I gained an understanding of the Facebook business model. So these are the kind of programs you should be tuning into if you're not already doing so yet. Expand your thinking, expand your horizons. In regards to this point, athletes will know. Coaches always tell athletes that you should train with 3 types of opponent. One who is on the same level with you so they can build your skills. One who is better with you so that you learn what is possible. You see that this person, how he has gotten better because of the greater risk that he takes to the point that it becomes a habit. And you start to see that it's actually okay to take these risks. And then you also play with a player that is lower level than you so that you can practice some of these skills in a less threatening environment. Just recapping once more. You are your focus, and you will grow leaves, you will shed leaves, you will grow more leaves. It's inevitable. Comment below, inevitable. And so whatever I said so far, if we focus on keeping all that we have, but our roots are not drawing nutrients, and we are also more exposed in our surface area, and you're keeping the leaves beyond validity, past the use, it is no use. On the other hand, if you know that you will grow because it's inevitable and you just shed as you need to, grow taller, grow more, shed again, grow more, your blossom will only get greater and wider. I talked about how the sprout in the darkroom desperately trying to overdrive its growth in search for light. If I could just get that much bit taller, I could access the sunlight. The roots of the plant are the same. The roots can be thought of like the importance of taking risk. We have to take certain risks in life. The growth of roots, if you've ever seen, you may have come across some exhibits out there where they put like a cross section of a tree root. They put a glass panel there and you can see how the roots had made its way, kind of like hand tutting, that thing that people do. It's like the roots are doing tutting, just making its way in and around. And if it cannot progress any further, another one will. But the importance is that the roots have to keep separating out, branching out in search for more supply, because you do need the constant supply to ensure continual growth, not just in the good times, but also in the bad. It have to continue venturing. Again, if you're not growing, you are dying. I would like to bring out the famous Bruce Lee quote, "Be formless, like water, adapt," right? So that's what Bruce Lee says, and that's what roots do, adapts in search of water. I mentioned that we are co-creator, we are different, much more upgraded, way more superior being than plants. Are we using our superiority to our advantage? If we are co-creator, how can we then be passive with life? Are we making it the fullest to our abilities? Plants may be disadvantaged sometimes. For example, our gardens, which are man-made, maybe there could be a mineral shortage in the soil, as a result of which certain plants may not grow to their fullest potential unless the owner buys fertilizer that is able to raise the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium to the right amounts. But now let's look at ourselves. Because we are a co-creator, we can shift at any time. This spot no good? Fine, I shift over here. This spot no good? Fine, I shift over here. That's what we can do differently as a co-creator. We choose our environment. Environment is so important. Like I said, plants, they need the light, they need the nutrients. If we're not getting the light and nutrients metaphorically as a human, then we have to shift. If the environment that we are in is not giving us the right stimulus, if it's fully negative, with negative people always saying bad things, people gaslighting you, narcissists maybe abusing you, giving you breadcrumbs in your life, and telling you lies and lying to you that you're incapable, and they drag down your dreams and goals in life. The best thing that you can do, which you can do, put yourself in a better position. Noise cancelling headphones. As you sleep, brainwash yourself with affirmation audios, meditation tracks that set a certain frequency. Even in all the daytime, you can undo that and fortify yourself with positivity. I give you an example that is not related to plants. You ever seen oil and water? They don't mix, they repel. But if you put a droplet of oil and a droplet of oil again, they merge together, form a bigger droplet. The same goes with water. You put a droplet of water and another droplet of water, they merge together, they become close enough. Because there's an attraction between these molecules. There's a resonance. The interesting thing here is that you see also how they repel. I want to give you this saving grace. Because I know some of you are in a very dark place in your life, like I was for a few years. I was in a narcissistic, abusive relationship. I was basically decimated as a person. Through reading about manifestation, reading about law of attraction, reading about law of assumption, I was able to script and manifest my way out of a bad situation. I want to tell you out there that if you are in a shit position in your life, there is hope. You can fix it. As you strengthen your frequency, it repels what is not. That means to say, if you have this strong belief system, if you have this strong energy that's being projected outward, like I talked about the pineal gland, how we project energy. In our actions, in words that we speak, the more that we develop ourselves, we become a different person than we were before. You can also check out like the journey that I've made from the first few videos that I've made till now. What a change. I look at it, I'm shocked as well. This kind of evolution of self that you create, and the people that maybe right now they're telling you lies to keep you at a level, because people never want people to go above. It's funny, in plants in nature, you see plants growing of different heights. But in humanity, when people try to forge ahead, what happens? Other people try to keep them down. When you develop yourself to this level, now your self-belief, your self-worth, you become a higher person. You become the person worthy of receiving that in your dreams before you actually receive it. By this evolution, people can throw the harshest words at you. You can have the harshest negativity. But eventually, when they see that you are repelling everything and you are so strong, they will back off. And you will get what you want in your life. Like what I did. I manifested the best possible divorce conditions. And I got my life back. Got peace for my pets and my daughter as well. In closing, I want to share with you a song that I happened to hear when I was chilling out last night. This is the song Here With Me by Haley Klinghammer and Kyle Zeman. Can I tell you something just between you and me? When I hear your voice, I know I'm finally free. Every single word is perfect as it can be. And I need you here with me. What caught me is when it said, when I hear your voice, I know I'm finally free. I want to remind you that you are co-creating your life. You are not alone. There is God. You are a co-creator. God became man so that man can become God. Cast your worries upon Him. Let go and let God. Through manifestation, we can have a vision of what we wish to create in our mind. We have the powers of imagination. Plants don't have, but we have. All these objects that we use on a daily basis are created in the imagination of someone's mind before made into matter, before made manifest. And this is the same. Communicate with God. Learn to listen to your intuitions. Visualize the version of yourself that is the one responsible to create all that you wish to receive in this life, and embody the frequencies of that successful, improved, upgraded self into you right now. And that is how you can do it. You are not alone. There is God. There is your higher self. And there is you. Not just you as in you, but you are now awakened. You have this power. Take it and use it. Once again, if you would like to learn more about manifestation, if you want to have people to support you towards your manifestation journey, click on the link below and join my Inspire at Random community for manifestation on school.com platform. I look forward to seeing you, hearing about your stories and introductions inside of the group. I have a welcome video which you can also check out. I'll see you inside. It's free right now. I really look forward to helping you. I really look forward to having you achieve your best life. That is the whole reason why I set up this community, because I was in a really dark place. I got out. and I want to help people rise up and above as well. And let's inspire and motivate each other along our manifestation journey. And if you'd like to watch another video right now, click this one over here.